Attorney Ralph Sarmiento, isang international law expert at dating Dean ng College of Law ng University of St. Lasal. Ay, ano ko ito? Alma Mater.
Alma Mater.
Ay, dyan ako nag-graduate, partner.
Yan,
Dyan
oo.
mismo sa school na yan, sa
Wow.
University of St. Lasal. Mayong aga, Attorney Ralph.
Good morning.
Mayong aga, Alvin, and good morning, Miss Doris.
Kumusta
Good
na ang
morning po.
Lasal natin? Ang tagal ko nang hindi nakatuntong
Talaga?
sa... I think siguro may 20 years na rin,
Wow,
partner.
wow, wow.
1994 pa ako nag-graduate.
I think the last time you were a speaker or something, either you were a guest speaker in some activity the last time you were at USLS.
Oh, but that was a long time ago, Attorney Ralph, no? Oh, matagal-tagal.
Damo na sa buong developments.
Marami na.
Damo na.
Marami ng
ng
developments.
Oo, tama.
Anyway, kaya kami napatawag, Attorney Ralph, hingi lang kami ng insights mo, ano po. So today po, magdi-decide ang Korte Suprema kaugnay po dun sa request for TRO and injunction nung kampo po ni Senador Bato. Pero hindi daw po didesisyonan kung valid ba ang ICC warrant to be executed in the Philippines. Tama bang pagkakaintindi ko, Attorney?
Technically, the petition and request for TRO and the status quo anti-order was already decided by the Supreme Court. So what will happen today is just the posting or public uploading of the individual opinions of the members of the Supreme Court.
Desisyonan na pala. Akala ko naman.
Parang
akala ko hindi pa na-desisyonan,
Parang
Attorney.
hinintay pa natin.
So, yung hindi pag-issue
Denied
ng
na po yun.
TRO.
Denied na po yung TRO.
At saka lang,
Yun na yun.
So,
yung denial,
oo.
i-explain lang ng Supreme Court bakit nila dininay.
Opo, ipapublish
Ayun.
po nila today. I-upload po nila sa Supreme Court na website. So, hinihintay po natin yung mga individual na opinions na members of the Supreme Court.
pero pwede pang i-apela yan?
Technically po, normally hindi po ina-appeal yung TRO. What will happen is that, as also clarified by the Supreme Court, yung main petition po, yung main issues, they remain pending for resolution of the Supreme Court. So what was denied, yung TRO lang po muna, and yung request for status quo anti-order.
So, hindi pa dinidiscuss kung may basehan ang pag-execute ng warrant na inisyu ng ICC.
Technically po, hindi pa po. Kasi yung purpose ng TRO is just a temporary restraint. No? So you should be able to establish na talagang may clear legal right ka. That clear legal right is will be violated by the action that is requested to be restrained. And that yung, if not restrained, it would result to an irreparable injury. So parang it's just a temporary restraint. That's why we call it a temporary restraining order.
Pero
As
ikaw-
to the main case, it will remain pending for resolution.
Pero kayo po, Attorney Ralph, ano yung position po ninyo? Partner, over the weekend, ang dami kong mga kaibigang abogado, mga Facebook friends ko, naglabas ng mga posisyon nila.
Nako.
And true enough,
Iba-iba.
iba-iba ang
Oo,
posisyon
sabi ko sa
nila.
iyo iba-iba.
Ikaw, Attorney Ralph, anong position ninyo? Executable? Can be executed ba yung ICC warrant? Or you really need to go through a local court for that to be implemented?
Well, technically po, considering that the Supreme Court did not issue a TRO or deny the request for a TRO, so technically nothing, at the moment, nothing prevents the Philippine government acting through its agencies or departments like the NBI or the PNP to execute or to implement the ICC warrant of arrest.
Opo.
So parang wala na pong legal impediment in the meantime, unless of course the Supreme Court will decide the main petition in a different way.
Okay.
Pero more likely po, based on experience, kasi hindi po nangyayari yun. Usually, once na-deny yung TRO mo, the logical conclusion is that the court is not convinced. So more likely, we can also expect a denial of the main petition.
Alright.
Sorry, pardon,
Oo,
pasingit
go,
ako.
go,
Kumbaga
go.
sinasabi mo, Attorney Ralph, na kung sakasakaling mali yung ginawa ng executive, o di dapat doon pa lang antimano, nag-TRO na.
Yes.
The fact na hindi siya
Normally
na-TRO, o hindi siya natinigil ng Korte Suprema, mukhang tama ang ginagawa ng pag-execute ng warrant.
So, go lang,
Parang
oo.
ganon, Attorney.
Normally po yun yung nangyayari. Very rare po na di-deny yung TRO and then mananalo ka sa main petition.
Alright. So yung mga sinasabi na may mga parating pa na warrant of arrest, pag yan ay bumaba na, agad-agad isa-serve sa kanila at agad-agad po pwede silang dalhin sa The Hague.
Well, technically po, it really depends on the Philippine government, no? Once for example, we have to settle the fact na, number one, although technically hindi na tayo member ng International Criminal Court.
Opo.
So technically yung implementation of any warrant issued by the International Criminal Court now depends on the cooperation of the Philippine government. And when we say cooperation of the Philippine government, that is actually a part of the prerogatives of the president as the architect of foreign relations.
Opo, opo.
So we are no longer bound by the treaty. So it's no longer yung cooperation. Technically, right now, it's no longer a matter of treaty obligation on the part of the Philippines. So any cooperation with the ICC at the moment will be voluntary on the part of the Philippine government.
So
Ayun.
how do you deal with the statement, halimbawa na ang sabi doon, nabasa ko sa Facebook, sabi only Philippine judges grant warrants. Is that correct or incorrect?
Well, insofar as Philippine cases are concerned po, the Constitution, when it requires a warrant, particularly in Article 3, Section 2, when it says no warrant shall be issued except upon a warrant of arrest to be based on probable cause to be determined by a judge, that technically applies only to local warrants involving local cases.
Opo.
Now, with respect to international warrants like those issued by the International Criminal Court, it will depend on our treaty with the International Criminal Court. In this particular case, the treaty is the Rome Statute. So while we already withdrew from the Rome Statute, may residual jurisdiction po yun, particularly jurisdiction rationale temporis, with respect to cases allegedly committed while the Philippines was still a party to the Rome Statute.
Sabi pa doon, constitutional law outranks international custom.
It really depends po. Normally po, wala naman pong clear na conflict between international law or international customs for this particular matter and our constitutional law. And normally po yung ginagawa ng Supreme Court, when the for example, when the interpretation of international law is susceptible to different possible interpretations, normally our Supreme Court will take the stand or will take the interpretation that will make international law to be consistent with Philippine law or vice versa.
Opo.
So normally po, they will try to establish or they will try to harmonize. Kasi kung wala naman talagang conflict, so they will try to give effect to both. Kasi hindi naman po talagang intended na magka-conflict yung international law and Philippine law.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of understanding ano po yung proper sphere ng application ng international law and ano rin po yung proper sphere of application ng ating constitutional law. And normally po in practice, they really do not conflict, or if may conflict man, it's very rare.
Alright.
Okay.
Pero bakit po, attorney, babilisin lang, bakit patuloy pa rin binabanggit yung jurisdiction? Hindi tayo kasali dyan, hindi dapat ito i-serve sa kanila dahil wala nang jurisdiction. Gumugulong na nga po yung kaso, hindi po ba?
Yung po kasi yung main argument ng petition na wala pong jurisdiction, wala na pong jurisdiction ng International Criminal Court. Pero ang matter po ito, it was already settled by even our own Supreme Court, recognizing that the International Criminal Court retains jurisdiction over crimes committed while the Philippines was still a party.
Correct.
Okay.
So ganun na yung part na.
Parang retro.
Hindi naman retro. Kung
Anong
hindi,
tawag doon?
noong panahon na yun, miyembro tayo eh.
Okay.
So, ibig sabihin, sakop siya. Although
Sakop
ngayon,
pa.
pumalas na tayo, pero may mga taon na miyembro tayo na sinasabing nangyari yung krimen
Okay.
na inaakusa ka sa kanila. So kaya tuloy pa rin. So today, ang asahan po natin ay mababasa yung individual opinions ng mga justices. Yun ang botohan na 951.
951.
Tama ba, attorney? 951?
951.
Opo. Pero kung ako din sa depensa, gagamitin ko rin, hindi naman basta-basta na 5 ha.
Oo.
5 Supreme Court Justices ang pumabor sa amin. Ibig sabihin, attorney, hindi naman ganun kayo, hindi unanimous ang desisyon ng Supreme Court. Does it matter na hindi unanimous ang desisyon?
Technically po, what will be controlling is the decision of the majority, and that's precisely why the Supreme Court is a collegial body of 15 members. Because more heads are better than one. So yun yung theory na and besides, 'di ba, we are supposed to follow the rule of majority. So kaya nga ginawa natin na 15 members yung Supreme Court natin para maraming ulo ang mag-aral ng mga legal issues, and they can decide by by majority decision.
So ang basa mo, kung yan ang desisyon sa tanong kung pwedeng dapat mag-issue ng TRO o hindi, na ang sagot ay hindi,
Oo.
chances are, dun sa main petition, ganyan din ang magiging stance ng mga justices?
Normally po. Very rare na may possibility na mag-switch sila ng opinion. May possibility na, for example, one justice would vote to deny the TRO, and yet will have a different opinion with respect to the main petition. Kasi iba naman po yun eh. So may possibility. But normally po, it's unlikely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Damo. Gid nga salamat. Halong, pirmi.
Thank you.
Salamat,
Thank you.
sir.
Mabuhay ka. Si Attorney Ralph Sarmiento po isang international law expert at dating dean ng College of Law ng University of St. La Salle. I think si Attorney Ralph ay parang isa sa mga unang graduates kasi hindi pa